Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our, I can't believe it, it's our 9th annual spring concert. This is Jazz Ensemble 1, and the piece you just heard was entitled Rio Nido. It's a great little bossa nova tune, and we talk about the ideas of bossa nova and its origination in Brazil. Give our soloist and Jazz Ensemble 1 another round of applause, please. As always, for jazz, it is very, very courteous of you as the audience members to participate. And so when you hear somebody solo, you always give them a round of applause at the absolute end. Don't ever have fear about doing that because it is the proper thing to be able to do as an audience member. It shows your appreciation for how well you enjoyed their particular solo. Our soloist on that last tune, as you can see, was quite numerous. Can I have all my soloists please stand for that last tune, everybody who just soloed? Give them another round of applause. And trumpets are already standing, so they all, they were already up and ready to go. All right. By all means, Jazz Ensemble 1, you can go ahead and take a seat and resume momentarily here. Ladies and gents, we're going to switch gears just slightly, and this is only just slight. We're going to do our next tune entitled Café Rio. It is a samba tune. It is very close to the bossa nova, but it does have some changes. You're going to notice what we call in the Latin world screaming trumpets and screaming brass. They're going to hit some of their top range or their altissimo range, but this is a neat piece entitled Café Rio, and again, it is a samba. Please enjoy. And by the way, there will be 2 open solo choruses. So there won't be 1 in the traditional, there will actually be 2. Oh, you definitely need to give them one more round of applause, please. For a double chorus section, which is a double improvisational section, and for all the brass players that are going, do you honestly expect me to get that high above the staff? And I said, oh yeah, in several months, you'll get there. It's gonna be okay, hang in there, you can do this. We're gonna actually now switch gears entirely and move out of the Latin world and move from Brazil and come back here to the States, and we're gonna start our swing section. And with that, we bring you a neat tune entitled Sugar. We're going to have several soloists on this as well because it's an open solo section, so pay attention to it and enjoy Sugar. I'd like to take a moment and introduce our personnel for just a moment. And in the rhythm section, which is one of the most key components, I'd like to introduce to you Ryan. He's our piano player. By the way, some new news that just came down the way, and that is that Ryan auditioned and made it into InterSpark, which is a music and theater summer camp. And he will be going away for 4 weeks and intensively studying his piano. Give him another round of applause. That just happened. Before this mighty fine gentleman takes off, this is Miguel. He's one of our bassists. Also, we have Alexis, who also is on bass. We've got Angel in the back. He is on vibraphone. And just coming out onto our set, that's Abel. Give him a round of applause. Our other set player, who just took off and is going to come out of the shadows right now for a moment, this is Steve. Who will be attending Humboldt University. Give him a round of applause, please. Joseph is one of our 3 guitarists. He is a freshman coming into our ensemble. Give Joseph a round of applause, please. And 2 of our other guitarists, one of which you heard in the song previous, which is Ricardo. Ricardo, come on out for a moment. He soloed on guitar and caperillo. That's Ricardo. And also on guitar is Ivan. Ivan, come on out for a moment. Here comes Ivan. Get on, get on. Ivan performed on Rio Nito, and you'll often see set changes such as that with my rhythm players. Back over along in here, we have Jose on trumpet. Marcelo on trumpet. Selena, who's joining us for the first year on trumpet. Whoa, that got a huge woohoo! Whoa. We'll get to your favorites in just a moment. We have Erica on lead for trombone, followed by Humberto, Brenda, and Alma. For the first time in Pacifica history, we're graduating our entire trombone section. They're all graduating this year. Yeah, pretty amazing. On the end, playing Barry sax is Aaron Cruz. And as he will tout, he's going to MIT. Go MIT. A brand new alto saxophonist who just joined us actually this semester. This is Gabe, in Alpha 2. He often gets noticed for looking just like Richard Simmons. And that is a compliment to him. Next to him is our lead alto sax player who's been with me for the last 4 years, and that is Chris Ramirez. Joining us for his freshman year on lead tenor is Manny. And finally, last but certainly not least, we always save the best for last, right, Randy? This is Randy on tenor 2. Give him a round of applause, please. And I won't forget to introduce myself. I am Miss Rogers. It's a pleasure to have all of you here tonight. Now you've got an idea of some of the personnel, especially some of the personnel you may not be familiar with, and you're like, oh man, who was the awesome guitar player on that last tune? Now you know. Because now I need your shout outs so far for your favorite improvisational artist. Go ahead, shout it out. All right, the first clear one that I heard was Marcelo. I heard Marcelo. There's apparently a huge screaming section of women all going for Marcelo. So Marcelo, good job, man, good job. All right, as we go through throughout the night, we're going to continue to see who may, end up on the absolute favorite list and actually impress you very, 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 very quickly. And speaking of impressing people, we are now going to bring forth Mr. Aaron Cruz, our MITer, and he's going to do a complete ballad. So we're going to switch styles here. So I'm going to move the microphone over here and let him get himself set up. And we're going to do a neat piece by Dean Sorensen entitled Afterglow. And part of this is actually written improv, so it fits the structure of what the ensemble is doing. And then Aaron is going to start to amaze you with his great musical talents on Barry sax. Please enjoy Afterglow. So what did you think? Congratulations, Aaron. Wonderful job as always. All right. Now we switch from ballad style and swing style to another swing tune, but this one is going to feature another one of our senior artists on trumpet. First, it was Aaron on Barry sax, and now we have Marcelo on trumpet. He's going to solo for the majority of this piece. He has a very lengthy solo in the middle, so give him some time to work through some things. You're more than welcome to give an applause after that, and then he'll do some other things for you at the very, very tail end. Please enjoy. Bradley is out front. Give Marcelo another round of applause. It takes a lot for an artist to take on a whole entire piece. Soloing for 16 bars is one thing. Soloing for an entire 100-bar piece, that's huge. And my congrats to both Aaron and Marcelo for tackling that and taking that on as a challenge. Please give them both another round of applause for both their tunes. And now we get to change styles even further, and we're going to get to funkicize things a little bit and get into the area in the realm of funk. And in terms of funk, you need to think of James Brown, completely and totally. And my students are going to do a neat piece entitled Word. You're going to hear a continual riff over and over. My gentleman in the rhythm section, would you play the opening riff a couple of times for me? Ready? A one, a two, a one, two, three, and. There it is. You will continually hear that riff over and over and over again, and that is the basis of the funk tune. Please enjoy this wonderful, wonderful, neat piece with lots of open solos. Neat, neat piece. Please give all of our soloists another round of applause. And for the saxes for doing a neat little solo in the midst of that with no other accompaniment whatsoever. All right, now we're going to turn back to traditional blues and do a beautiful piece entitled Blue Train that was originally done by John Coltrane. One of the neat things about jazz is we get to study the different eras of jazz. And jazz evolves about every 10 years. Every 10 years is a new style and a new way of looking at jazz, between swing and ballroom to the idea of moving forward into bop, hard bop, bebop, etc. And it keeps moving and it keeps evolving. So we get to go through all these little eras and get to hit on different composers and talk about different things. One of which is John Coltrane, who originally designed and did this tune. So we've actually tweaked it from the original arrangement, and we're actually going to do it Coltrane style. So we're going to add in the soloist where they are at, and it's actually going to feature several of our saxophonists and Erica on trombone, Marcelo on trumpet, and it's going to get to actually feature a little bit more of a rhythm section. So you'll get to hear Ryan and Miguel on bass. Miguel finally gets to take a solo. So with that, and please enjoy Blue Train by John Coltrane. to Ryan, Miguel, Chris, Manny, Erica, and Marcelo all soloing. And as my players here switch to their second to last tune, all right, shout outs for your favorite artist, go ahead. I'm hearing Marcelo, I'm hearing yay bro. To Gabe, to Miguel, etc. All right, well, we're going to see where it lies. We're going to switch and go to another swing tune, which is a neat traditional one that's been done lots of times by various vocal artists, including Michael Bublé, who actually did it recently, and that's entitled Moon Dance. Oh, you can clap, that's okay. Go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and taking the time to come out and listen to Jazz Ensemble 1. To be able to create jazz is an extremely unique and difficult process. These students have to collectively work with each other, listen to each other, constantly adjust and adapt, and most importantly, create. Create from the mind and the soul whenever they do improv, and they pour their heart out onto their sleeve, and they hope their audience accepts that. Please give them a huge round of applause for all of their work this evening, as well as this year. This may be their final spring concert here at Pacifica High School, but their work is not done. We actually did a performance last Saturday at Mesa School on behalf of the Mesa Music Festival in conjunction with Dr. Puglisi, whose both daughters actually graduated here from Pacifica High School. And so we went out there and did this. We also have other events coming up, including the Santa Barbara Jazz Fest on May 22nd, and some other little feeder school activities and some on-campus activities that we're going to be doing out in the quad during lunchtime. So their work is far from over, far from over. Please give them one more round of applause before you take off for the evening, and they do too. Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh. There's my note. Here's my note for class. Oh. Oh, they got me with the flowers. Is there money in it? Oh, you know, I'll take this bouquet. Oh my goodness me, you guys. Thank you. It's rare that I'm speechless, and I'm speechless tonight. Selena, would you mind holding this? And Marcelo, since you want to hold another round. Pink. Careful with my flowers. Oh, my goodness me. Do you want me to open the card? Am I expected to open it up? I wasn't sure. It should be a private moment or a public moment. It's in cut time. It's in cut time. The other formal vocabulary term for cut time is? Alla breve. Thank you very much. Woohoo! I've done my job as an educator. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, and you got me school colors. It says thank you for everything, and it's signed by every single person in the group. Thank you, of the seniors. Thank you, every senior. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness me, am I supposed to open this one up too? You have no idea, Erin, this is going to be impromptu? All right, sure. Mom came running up here. All right, Randy, assistants in aisle 9. I want the balloon to fly all the way here. The gifts just keep on coming. My goodness. Oh, what did you... BJ's? Thank you. Mama Rogers and I haven't really had a formal dinner yet. Notice how I put that in my pocket? My goodness me. What did you do here? Okay. Brianna, it's not working. Card doesn't want to open here. All right, here we go. Would you mind moving the balloon? Thank you. It says the nice little things you do and are more than nice and more than just a little. Aw, Mama Rogers, you should be very proud of your daughter. She's an amazing, talented young woman, and you are truly an inspiration to us all. Always being there for everyone. We are so lucky to have you both, wonderful women. This is just a little token to say thank you for everything you do from the Cruz family. Miss Rogers and Mama Rogers, thank you for having Erin in the marching, symphonic, and jazz ensembles. You don't know how much we appreciate all of your work. God bless. Love always the Cruz family. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness me. And DJs, that'll be so nice. Save and hold on to that till the end of the year. My flowers are just gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, you are talented and wonderful individuals, and you get up every morning, usually get to Jazz Ensemble on time. We have our moments at times. But You know, it takes a lot of courage to take an additional class and take a 0 period, get up and be here at 7:11 in the morning, do some great creative activities, jump to class and all of your other academics. And some of you are also athletes and balancing that in the afternoon. Plus, you know, Aaron being the ASB president and choir and theater that's going on in this ensemble. And you are truly an amazing group of people to work with on a daily basis. And I just could not be prouder of you. Thank you all so very much for all of your work and being here every single day. Okay? Boy, if this is how you treat a director, I can't wait to see what's going to happen at the end of the year banquet. Oh boy, bring the Kleenex. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so very much for coming out this evening. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure. They've got more work to do throughout the rest of the semester. Feel free to come out and join us. They'll give you tidbits of when we're coming out and when we're doing some playing and where we're gigging around town and such. And with that, we will say good night and farewell. Thank you so very much for being here. Very good. Steve. And with that, I know that, as they say, the conga line will be starting in my room for the number of students who need to see me to sign their programs because they love me so much they want my signature. It may be worth millions someday. But also for all those teachers that are giving them extra credit. Come back and see me in the back in the abandoned guard room. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.